Hey, well, welcome. We're back to it's week 3 already. Time is flying. We're not bound by time. We're eternal spirits. Wellness Business Builders Mentoring. It's such a mouthful. I actually forget some of the words in it. I just came up with that in the blink of an eye, and there it is. It's stuck there. So sometimes I'm calling it business mentoring. Whatever it is, thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and thank you to everybody that's watching this as a recording. So this morning's session was powerful, and if you've missed out on any of the trainings, we're up to number 3 tonight. I want you to drop in the comments, is this your 1, 2, or 3, so that I know where we're at. And what I will do is repeat week 2 next Monday morning so that we can have catch up and grab a recording. Initially, I said I'm not going to record this, but my mentor has, thank you for landing. My mentor has said, could you please give this to our team that are actually more senior to me? And I thought to myself, what a beautiful gift, because we all have genius zones, right? My mentor's amazing at filing, keeping track of follow-ups, about explaining the finance, not my strength. And then we were chatting tonight on my training, because if you're a good entrepreneur, you're going to be doing training, right? You don't know it all. You're going to be tapping into somebody else's genius zone. And she was saying to the team, yeah, I can talk on camera. I'm here to teach you that, guys. It's something that you can learn. I've learned it in my trainings. It's just getting over yourself, actually, and pretending that you're talking to your avatar client. If you visualize, and we'll do a whole week's training on visualization for one of our mentoring trainings. If you visualize the person on the other side of the camera as being your avatar, the person that you're going to make amazing impact on in your life, then you're going to attract more of the same. And isn't that exciting? So drop me in the comments, what is your why? You know my why by now. My why is to assist people to raise their vibrational frequency, and that includes sound healing, mentoring, coaching, business mentoring, but it also includes insisting that they become toxic free, because toxic emotions crave for toxic things, right? It's the world we live in. If you're feeling shitty, you're going to go and eat junk food. I witness it all the time. I try to get people on my 9 weeks program. That's one of my teachables within the website. And I speak into this. If you're toxic emotionally, you're going to run to toxic things. You'll end up with a toxic partner, a toxic boss, a toxic diet, a toxic perfume that you think smells amazing. And then you get to these levels of awakening, and next minute you're like, oh my gosh, that stinks. It literally does. And why do you think every single celebrity has a fragrance? Fragrance lowers your frequency. Thank you for the whys. I love this, because if you can niche in the why, you can reach your avatar client. If you don't know your why, you're going to waffle on, and it's not targeted. Are you with me? So let's get to why repetition matters. And you're going to feel like you're going insane on your social media. I do. I know all this stuff. It's difficult to action it. Just like I know to eat healthy and to go to the gym gives me a hot banging body, but some days I just don't feel like it. It's exactly the same for your business, right? So some days I wake up and I feel like doing it. Today was one of those. I had a magical day. It flowed into everything that I did today. Other days I'm just not feeling it, but feelings lie. Feelings lie to you. Feelings are dictated by ego state, and your feelings are not your friend. Can I just say that? Unless you're only vibing high in love, joy, peace, authenticity. This is the highest scale of the Hawkins chart, and I'll show you that one day. Repetition matters. Big marketers pay for repetition. Why? Let's dive in. It's really basic, actually. The brain loves patterns. This is science. It isn't woo-woo. It's all one and the same. The subconscious mind is a lazy little unit. The subconscious mind believes everything that you tell it. It's a data bank. Everything you watch, everything you listen to, everything you've heard growing up, particularly when you were in theta state, That is 0 to 7. Theta state is the brainwave state that your brain will be in when we do things like sound healing. That's why I'm so passionate about it. That's why I put a playlist in the chat group. Every time we're on, I'd like you to play the playlist or watch the recording playing the playlist, so that the music, the frequency at high vibrational activity allows this to stick in your lazy subconscious mind. Now, I'm not trying to insult you. It's just the way the brain works. It latches onto what is familiar, and that happens through the ego state. But I'll say this, you cannot manifest without the ego. But what are we manifesting? Abundance or chaos? It's your choice. And this is where we need both parts of the brain syncing to dive into our co-creational state, which we had as children before we were programmed with other people's thoughts and intentions and directives for our lives. And there are always people that we looked up to, which we shouldn't, because we're all equal. But this is why celebrities give you a perfume, so that you look up to them and you lower your frequency in the same process. Are you with me? Because whatever that idol, you're giving them the magic from your eye. You're giving them your light instead of giving it back to self. You're giving it to them in your dense state of subliminal programming. And what we're doing here is taking all that juicy goodness back and using this to help ourselves expand and help expand our communities that we love. So the ego and the subconscious mind attaches you to what's familiar. All right, so somebody comes in like me and goes, hey babe, let's try this a new way. And what is you think, oh yeah, I'm in the energy, I'm on the pitch, or I'm on the sales call, or whatever that's called. Yeah, I like to do an introduction. If you've met me, it's usually the way people meet me. We have a call. I want to see your face. I want to hear about your dreams. I want to see how I can help you expand your dreams. That's why your soul was born in this avatar. And it sounds great while you're in the energy of my hypey vibe, right? But then you go away, and what happens? What happens when you step out of the energy field? Because you manifest faster when it's collective, right? When you step back into your old energy field and you're not in that high vibe with somebody that's got your back, got your hand, has done it before, you forget. And you start to think negatively. And this is a subconscious mind's job, actually. And it's your job to whip that into control and control the mind using spirit. Because I'll tell you this, they can measure the biometric field outside of your body, which is thoughts. So what does that say to you? Are these thoughts actually even mine? Or are they frequencies that I'm tapping into of collective thoughts that have been spoken into me? All right. Now, one of those thoughts when you grow up in a family is, I don't have enough. We can't afford it. It's poverty mindset. It's a thing. How do you bust out of that? How do you become the change when you grew up in that like I did? Well, you have to take every thought captive and ask the thought, is this loving? If not, delete the file. It's a viral thought, a virus. I'm unplugging from that and I'm stepping into who I am as a spirit being. My avatar's been programmed. And literally everything around you is there through advertising. Anything that's popular is there to make you feel not good enough. Why? Because when you don't feel good enough, they can sell to you. And that's the hook that I was rejecting in the knowledge of what I knew working in this industry. I abhor it. But if somebody's coming into the opposite and offering you things like abundance, uncapped income, health and well-being with every single thing that you can purchase through this vehicle, why would we reject something that's good? Well, the analogy that I gave you this morning is the dating game. We sabotage. It's our lazy little unit saying, this feels unfamiliar, babe. You're not quite ready for this yet. We block ourselves, and you'll hear incredible speakers speaking into this, that change makers make change. If you're doing the same thing over and over again without results, then it's wrong, right? It ain't working for you. So what we need to do is reinvent the brand. And that's why you're here. So we've got our colors, we've got our tone, we have our teachings, and we have our offerings. And if we stay consistent, they become sticky, juicy. They become something that becomes your language. It's weaved into everything. I want to speak into this with a first-hand experience that I had today when I was out and about. I had 2 customers come to me. One came in and she had seen something that was cheap, affordable. We'd done a special. She loved the discount. And so hear this, right? There are certain types of people that cheapen what they add into their life. A successful entrepreneur never does that. They work an investment out by what reciprocal energy do I get back from that investment. A successful entrepreneur will invest in education, for example. They will invest in a coach. A poverty mindset person rarely will do that because they'll see it as a waste of money. And do you see how things are inverted there? This is why the elite have special schools. They're trained differently to us, and that's what we're breaking out of. I want you to realize that consistency is key. So this particular client, she'd experienced the discount on a high-end brand, and she was actually taking up a lot of my time explaining to me why she needed it cheap. But let's go back to the date analogy. If you know your self-worth and somebody wants to give you a cheap date, ask yourself if that fits with your personal branding, your personal avatar. It doesn't with mine anymore. I used to think that I wasn't worthy of anything extraordinary, but now I've trained my lazy brain to think the opposite. If you step into sovereignty, the sky's the limit. I won't cut my wage. I won't say that I'm not worthy of all these things that are going to improve my health. I've gotten down and dirty into the healing basket and realized that health is wealth. I attract things with my vibrational auric field, with how I feel about myself. And you see, it's really different. While I was engaged with that particular customer today, another lady came in who knew her worth. She wanted something. She didn't understand it. She wanted me to explain it. It took me 30 seconds and the sale was made. They're the types of people, they're action takers. They take the data from you without time wasting. Now, I want in this process for you to evaluate with this consistency key, measuring it up, using your body as this incredible vehicle that it is to say to yourself, what's my cutoff point? How much attention am I giving to negativity? Is that landing? If it is, drop me a 1 in the basket, because if not, it leads to frustration. Know thyself. Know thy worth. Okay. So you might set up and always there are tiny exceptions to the rule, compassion and love. But what I found working in my media industry was that whenever I lowered my standards, I would attract a really crappy client that didn't value me. Why? Is it the client's fault? No, it was me. I lowered my standards. So this is why I give the dating analogy, because if you lower your standards, you attract the creeps. Just saying. All right. I'm really bold and basic with this because I need this to hammer in home so that you run this business like I did and you can ride that wave of success. Why? Because you have self-love. You're the energy. Okay. So here's why repetition builds authority. And we spoke into blue being a color of authority, of government, of, speaking your truth. When you repeat your core messages, your philosophy becomes clear. Your methods feel solid. Your audience sees you as the go-to voice. You become the expert. Now, here's the thing. When you're speaking on social media, it's very easy for yourself to see your grid. We all look at our grid, right? And we think, oh my gosh, I'm getting bored with myself. I'm talking about the same things over and over and nobody's listening. Advertisers pay top dollar to teams that I worked with that cost them millions to repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. It's brainwashing. Brainwashing in a negative way. They're telling us we're not good enough, we're not worthy, we need to go down to the red and the yellows when it's basic survival instincts. They appeal to when the nervous system is not feeling safe, the fight, flight. Stop, eat junk food, and just survive and take that paycheck that doesn't pay you bills. You're in debt to that system. We might feel like we're rinse repeating, but let me tell you, not everybody sees every post you do, and they've landed on your page through vibrational attraction, the law of attraction. They've landed on your page because they like what they see. So give them more of it. Become the expert. And authority isn't loud. I need you to know this. It's just consistent. What we're working on with social media here is social connection, leaving people feeling better about themselves for dipping in with you. I don't want it to be a hard sales pitch ever. We discussed this morning how celebrities are paid big dollars by advertisers to just be the brand, be the inspiration, be something that somebody else aspires to. So if you're talking about freedom, talk less and show them what freedom means for you. If you're talking about healing, talk less and show them what healing means to you. If you're talking about wellness, talk less and show them what wellness means to you, because as they say, a picture speaks 1,000 words. Why? Because a picture goes smack bang into the subconscious mind as the program. Is this landing for you? It's really quite basic, isn't it? And I know that you already intuitively know this. And therefore, I am your mirror and your echo, because children turn up like this. You can't access the kingdom of heaven unless you are a little child. So I want you to switch off your serious hat and just turn up and experiment. Have fun with it. Switch off the judgment. That's been spoken into you. When you were 0 to 7, I bet you didn't give a damn what anyone thought. If you danced, sang, spoke your truth, saw the fairies, whatever it was, that's what I want you to tap into. Because what we're dealing with here is frequency imprinting. Your brand is an energetic loop. Every post, every email, every color, every phrase, every story is telling your clients, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. And the more consistent that you are within that loop, the stronger the imprint. Now I'm wearing some pink tonight. I'm wearing pink and green. Why do you think that is? Drop it in the comments. It doesn't happen every time I turn up, but I'm consciously aware of it and therefore I action it. Great. Awesome. I want you to be your brand. I want you to live it, and to live something authentically. First of all, you have to embody it. So your homework tonight is to go out and be your brand. Go out and buy your brand. Go out and eat your brand. Go out and drink your brand. Go out and become it, because before you're it, you can't speak it. You got to live it, right? It's lived life experience. You got to be that energy. It's like me going on a date and pretending that I'm Princess Diana. I ain't. Never will be, never would want to be. Why fake it, right? So if I fake things, especially in internet land, I get caught out. Why? Because it's inauthentic. And in that, I attract inauthentic, because that's what happens with energetics. Who wants to waste their time attracting inauthentic? You go on a date 20 times not being yourself, you're not going to meet your soul aligned frequency, right? You're not going to meet your soul partner. You need to turn up, warts and all. So if you're feeling sad that day, own your shit and say, hey, look, when I turn up on camera, and I can be polished, but when I turn up authentically and say something, or I make a mistake, or I look shit, that's when I get the most likes. And so I lean into the pain of that. because it feels I'm out of my comfort zone. And as they say, growth happens with pressure, right? How do you make a crystal? Pressure and heat. Put yourself into that fire and develop your pure, raw, core, authentic self and allow that to shine. And that means switching off people pleasing. If you'd like a lesson on people pleasing, it's in my membership. We could talk for months on that one, but that's a big one to break. And I'm right at the end of that. It's been a real curse of mine. All right, so repetition makes selling effortless. People don't buy the first time they hear. Thank you to one of you that brought that up in this morning's training. You know, it's really easy to get discouraged when we do the reach out or go into someone's inbox, especially if they've engaged with our content, and they'll either ghost us or they'll say no. But I want you to use that person's energy as a mirror and ask yourself, have I done the same thing? How would I respond to what I wrote? If you see yourself in the other person's shoes, it's really actually great to analyze yourself instead of blame. Say, how can I become more friendly, more attractive, more engaging? How can I learn from this? Because everything's happening to us, not for us. Everything's happening to us so that we can use that and become better at what we're doing. Right? So there's nothing there that's a mistake. There's actually no such thing as failure in business. Every single entrepreneur, if you read their books on what they've birthed, they're risk takers. They have always failed, and success will come after the failure. 3 things. A successful entrepreneur is a risk taker, because if not, they're going to be in the shitty job earning $33 an hour in Australia as your basic minimum wage, and you can't even pay for your groceries with that. They're going to fail, just like a child walking, yeah? We perceive that fall as failure in business, but do we ever criticize a child for falling? We're skating here. We've got roller skates on. Like, just pick yourself up and try it again a different way. And we learn from our mistakes. The biggest failures I've had in business were my biggest lessons. And I'll tell you, hand on heart, the hardest thing for me was that I always wanted to do business with a business partner, and they always failed me. Now the realization in my wisdom in those failures, and it's happened to me at least 3 times, my husband said to me, no more business partners. So I found something like this, a vehicle where we're working together, because I love the energy of collective energy, and yet I'm in charge of my own business. It's a win-win. You see, you don't have to be on my paperwork. I don't have to be on yours, but we've still got each other's back. That's what I love. I love the aspect of community, but when you're unhealed, you will attract people that try to ride your energy, try to steal your successes. It's impure intentions, and I want you to feel into that. So let's reiterate. People don't buy the first time they hear something. You're the same, right? You've seen that ad, or at least your subconscious mind has seen that ad either on your doom scrolling on social media or on TV or on Netflix. You have seen that ad so many times that your subconscious mind is what makes the decision to action it. But you will not buy something until it becomes familiar. All right, so we're pitching to people that maybe don't value wellness. That's a tough ride. All right, I want you to weigh up how much time you are giving to somebody that's an absolute no, like my customer today, or the other one that's already done some self-work and research that knew that she wanted to learn, and she saw me as an expert. Really different energies, right? Which one do you think you're going to ride the wave of success with? Because time is money too. We think of money just as transactional stuff that we pull out of the ATM, and that's quickly shifting as well. But no, anything you're exchanging, I'm exchanging my time and my wisdom here with you tonight, and that's an energetic exchange. If it's not reciprocal, you need to value your self-worth. So have your limits, which is self-loving boundaries. But the more you repeat your message, the less you'll have to convince somebody Convincing, sometimes the ego will allow convincing to be control or manipulation, if you're honest. And our marketing industries prove that to be right, do they not? Consistency does the convincing for you. I'm just landing my conversation and my imagery, the frequency that I'm presenting in the music that I choose, the subliminal messaging, the products that I'm showing just in everyday lifestyle. I'm not there selling you Chanel saying, you should buy Chanel, it's on sale now, right? You see, it's really different because a brand is never on sale, actually. It doesn't have to be. And this is working with the subconscious mind and the ego in that everybody wants something that's inaccessible. It's the same with dating, right? Tell me I'm wrong or tell me I'm wrong. What to repeat though, so that it sticks. Your colors. So you've worked out your colors by now, unless it's your first time tonight. Work out your colors. And in tonight's conversation, we had a couple of people rejigging that. That's great. It means that you're really feeling into what feels right for you. Your colors. Know what those colors mean. Do some homework. Your tone, your voice, your message, your core beliefs, your philosophy. If you can't rattle your philosophy off in 30 seconds, you are not yet your brand. You are not yet your brand. If you were working for a major corporation and you were coming in to be an educator or a trainer or a spokesperson for the messaging of that brand and they were going to pay you millions for that, the first thing you have to do is embody it. Know exactly what the philosophy is. What is the core message? And it's got to be sharp and snappy. Why? Because people's attention span is really short now. Statistically and spiritually, I have channeled in, spirits told me that people have 7 seconds to feel you before they've wandered off. So think about that when you start a video. Start with a hook. Start with the core message and then waffle on about it, because not everyone's going to be with it until the end of the video. That what we're doing is programming the core message or the main belief in everything that we message to our people. And I want you to give your signature offers names. That might seem weird, but you're kind of creating a little family. You're creating a little environment of fun energies with you. Be creative with this like a child would be. Action what problems you have solved. We touched on that this morning. Problem solution is the key marketing trick. Yeah. In fact, advertisers create problems so that they can sell you a solution. That really pisses me off big time. We're not those people, but we appeal to the pain point. And it's even more powerful if you've journeyed it. So one of our members this morning gave us a great analogy in that she's using the Renew cream. It's changed her life and she's woven that into her messaging. So what problems have you solved in working with your own wellness? Nobody's going to trust a wellness expert that isn't practicing wellness. And this is where alignment for me is integral. I'm not offering my valuable time to somebody that's not interested in investing in themselves. Is that harsh? It might seem like it is, but take it back to dating. Do you love yourself? And are you just going to give every single time waster your time? Or are you going to kick back and just hold in that energy and wait for the right one? So much more satisfying, right? Because you're tracking equally. You're climbing together. I want you to visualize tonight like I did in the last business trip training, where it was all expenses paid trip. And I was sent away with 20 power horse men and women. And we sat around the dinner table, a 3-course meal paid for by this vehicle. And we went around the dinner table and got to know each other. And what I did was visualized, who would I like to go on the next trip with? And here you are. I've attracted you. Am I the type of personality that wants to sit and do small talk around a dinner table? No. Get to know me and see that what I'm speaking here is truth. I want to cut to the core. I do not want to edit. I want to just be my authentic self, and they're the ones that I want in my business affiliate. And if you have any sensibilities, that's what I want you to attract as well. Let's not get desperate here for the energy that we're putting out into the world, yeah? Let's really niche into who I would like to do business trips with. Who would I like to tap in with every day? Who would I like to do custom events with? That's where the fun happens. Okay, where am I up to? The transformation you deliver. If you've walked through a transformation, whether it's weight loss, emotional healing, trauma bond healing, rags to riches, like my mentor, which is why she's so passionate about teaching me about the numbers, which is so generous. If you walked it, you have a pain point, you have some empathy. I've walked it, I've traversed it. I want you to see now with real eyes on the prize. What has the universe had you walk through that you've become victorious in, that you can now weave into your story that becomes your transformational brand? That's money in the bank. That's what they fake in the industry. They get celebrities telling you all these things that aren't truth, because I can tell you now, when they land on set to promote a product and they're paid millions for that, they don't even use it. They don't know what it is. They're reading off a teleprompter script. It's acting. But you're not acting. You are lived experience here. That's why if you step into your frequency, you will be magnetic at the niching in that you choose to do. Remember this, though, that repetition is the drum beat that your brand dances to. Don't get tempted to think that it's boring. Honestly, if you're bored scrolling, you just scroll on. Right? Don't think about it from self's position. Think about it when you action it. Are you bored when you're looking at other people's brands? What attracts you to them? Okay, we're starting to wrap up now. This is our last slide. I want you to step into not thinking like a salesperson. A salesperson works for a boss, right? I want you to think about this vehicle as a leader's job. I'm here to change lives. This is our motto, our mission statement, right? I'm here to enhance the lives of those we touch by helping people reach their goals. So if you left here tonight and you didn't continue your sign up and you didn't grow a business in Melaleuca and you didn't do anything but say, hey, I remembered what Michelle taught me about branding, and you became successful in another area, I'd be clapping, because that's what I've done in this engagement. I have enhanced your lives by touching you, by helping you understand that you're the energy, you're the business, you're the leader here, you're the one with the personal testimony that changes other people's, they look up to you. And that's where we are as forefront runners here. So this invite tonight is into leadership. If you go first, you open the door. That's a portal. So niche it in tonight. Are you opening the door for health and well-being? Are you opening the door for abundance? Are you opening the door for changing how we do business on earth? Or is it all of them? And if it is, that's super aligned with me. Leadership is an invitation, though, not an obligation. I learned this through human design for me because I'm a manifester. And here I am as a manifester, often working with a Mani-Gen. And an unhealed Mani-Gen, like most unhealed people, will want to control, right? And I was letting them, not stepping into my own position of authority. A manifester is designed, by design, there to give an invite. The invite doesn't come with conditions. It's simply an invite. Would you like to follow this manifesting idea that I've just had? Take it or leave it. I'm opening the door. It's the other person's job to either step through and follow or not. That's what I call alignment. So you don't want the 80% to step through the door with your manifestation dreams. You want your 20% of, hell yeah, I get the messaging. I understand your frequency and I'm excited by it. That's what we want, right? We don't want the masses. We want those that are in alignment with our messaging. So welcome to week 3. If you're watching this as a recording, I'm grateful that you're here. I would love you to tap into my inbox and let me know what your biggest takeaway is tonight or whenever you're watching this, and then we can get the conversation rolling.